Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content. We're back on the Game Week 16 deadline, a little later than usual. I like these deadlines a lot. I woke up at a cool 9 a.m, didn't have to do too much, extra bit of sleep because I am still a little bit ill, but it's fine. Got up, played some Call of Duty, and then jumped on stream. What a life, what a day, and a day ahead of football. Lots of 3 o'clock kickoffs. 3 o'clock if you're in the UK anyway. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. So yeah, let's do this live stream for a couple of hours, 2 hours until deadline. I think it might be a hat day. Might be a hat day today. That's fine. We can deal with that. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Good morning. Who have we got in the chat? Any members in the chat? Got Craig in here. What's up, Craig? Lots of people thinking about captains this week, I imagine. Jagar says, morning, mate. Actually, it's afternoon here. Fair enough. Whereabouts are you in the world? Mark's here as well. Good morning, Mark. Some people thinking about bench boost as well. I had a few questions about bench boost this week. It must be a few people maybe seeing Rodgers against Forest and thinking, oh, that looks nice. Yeah, maybe. Kenya, nice. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would personally rather save the bench boost for a double game week if possible, but it's kind of up to you. But I think I've probably got a similar quality bench to a lot of the people who are thinking about bench boosting, and I don't think I'll be bench boosting. I don't think so anyway. Greg's here as well. Yes, orange squash today, my friend. Orange squash, let's go. Beatrix as well. Craig says, thank God for the late start. Cheat my Christmas work night out. Oh, was it last night? Was the Christmas do last night? Well. I mean, a lot of people having Christmas do's at the moment. We need to have a Christmas do in the FPL Mate offices, but it'll just be me and my cat, to be totally honest with you. We could still, me and my cat, we could have a couple of drinks, talk about FPL. Well, no, do you talk about work at the work Christmas do's? I don't know. Triple captain Salah, not for me. A few people watching from Kenya today. Good afternoon to the Kenyans out there. We are representing an African jersey today, Nigeria. Don't have a Kenya football jersey. Maybe I should get one. Maybe Kenya should be on the jersey watch list. We got to represent those in the FPL community, don't we? Who are we captaining? Well, I'm pretty set on Palmer now. I appreciate it is close between Salah and Palmer. Should we do a quick poll? Sion says, g'day from New Zealand. A couple of people from New Zealand. What's the time? 12:30 a.m. in New Zealand. Crikey. Let's throw up a poll to start us off to get the conversation flowing. So, who is your Game Week 16 captain? Any early leaks? Not that I've seen, my friend. But we'll keep you abreast of any information. So who's your Game Week 16 captain? Palmer. We'll just put Palmer Salah. And then we'll just put other. Because I don't think there's a clear third choice this week. 6:30 a.m. in Jamaica. Wow. So see, how on earth do you deal with the 11 a.m. deadlines? That's like 6 a.m. deadlines for you when it's 11 a.m. UK time. Today you've got a nice 8:30 deadline, which is much nicer, much more palatable if you are in the Western Hemisphere. Greg in New York City. Not sure what the time difference is there. That's similar, isn't it? 6:30 for you? Not sure. Going for Saka for obvious reasons. I'd love to know what the obvious reasons are. Are you an Arsenal fan, perhaps? Eastern time zones are rough for those early deadlines. I can imagine, David. I really can. 6:30 in New York. 6:30 Eastern, is it? Rough. But you're up and you're awake. Fahad says from Saudi Arabia, time is 2:35 p.m. That's nice, man. That's a decent time. Nice afternoon. Sun's shining. You know, come inside for some shade and some FPL and a little bit of football as well. Why not, man? Why not? Sophie says Salah's fixture looks better than Palmer's. Oh, I strongly disagree on that one. Strongly disagree. Fulham are a good side, man. It's Fulham are a really strong side. I mean, they kept the mighty Arsenal out to just one goal. What can we say? 5 p.m. in India. Nice, man. Nice. So many people selling Gabriel. Yeah, if we get any leaks today, I'm hoping we do get a Gabriel leak. Not so much for my benefit, but for you guys. But if I'm totally honest, I think Gabriel's going to play. I'm feeling more optimistic about Gabriel playing this game week than ever before. We'll see what happens. Well, Watkins will play. I'm not sure if Watkins is going to be available or not, to be honest. He did pick up an injury midweek. I think if you've got a free transfer, just move Watkins to Isak. I think it's a pretty straightforward transfer. And then if we get the news that Watkins is definitely out, I would even take a hit to move Watkins to Isak. Bassi and Anderson out. Doesn't that make Fulham easier? Definitely, yeah. And that's I think what makes it a conversation. But that said, who was it who was playing? Diop was playing against Arsenal last week. And it will be Cuenca coming in. Cuenca's not a bad defender. It's not like they're going to be playing the kids, but like they are going to be worse. Like, don't get me wrong, but like one player worse than Arsenal last week. Not two players worse than against Arsenal last week. One player worse. Cuenca's a knock. Well, if that's the case, things might change a little bit. Who else do should we have a look to try and predict who Fulham will actually play in the centre-back position? Have got any young uns? Will it be bad? So, yeah, the only fit centre-backs are going to be Diop and Cuenca. You say he has a knock. I didn't see anything about him having a knock, but if it's true, it's true. Outside of that, I wonder who could play centre-back. Would they drop Sanderberg in there? Or could Kelly Tete play centre-back? Castagne's played centre-back before, but not in a two-man defence. So I'm not totally convinced by that. It could be makeshift if Cuenca's out. Could be makeshift. But definitely, you know, before we knew about, you know, players missing in the Fulham defence, it was clearly Palmer. Maybe not clearly, but like it was. Oh, it might be a mistake. It says November. Okay, so he's fine. Yeah, so it will be Cuenca and Diop. That's not that bad. Is my camera frozen? Oh, I know what's happened. Oh, not this again. Right, hang on, guys. I need to stop streaming and start again. Or can we? Do we have a backup video capture? Because I've frozen because of this stupid, don't even want to say feature. I might have to stop the stream and open it again because the stupid freezing when these haptics arrive, which I still can't work out how to turn off. Right, the stream is going to stop and start again, so just be aware of that. But okay, we should be back now. Borlak says if you open your camera source and select deactivate and activate again, that should do it. I've tried that before, but it didn't work. Well, we're back now. Only took a few seconds. No biggie. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, back to this. Two centre-backs will be Diop and Cuenca. let's see how well that goes for Fulham. I do still think Salah's a great captain option for this week, to be honest. No leaks, Danny. I'll let you know when there are. GR Gamer Yasin says, Aït-Nouri, Colwill, Hall, Rogers. Which two do I bench? Bench Colwill and one of Hall or Aït-Nouri, I suppose. I mean, you could bench Rogers. We'd probably need a bench list for this, don't we? Lots of people asking about taking -4s, man. Lots of -4s going around. Aït-Nouri to Trent for free. I would be tempted by that, yeah. I would be very tempted by that. Borlak says, I picked Salah because of your comments on Fulham defender issues and I'm sticking with it. Fair enough. No, there's plenty of arguments to captain Salah this week. Plenty of arguments to captain Salah. It's so close. It's one of those frustrating 50-50 decisions this week between Palmer and Salah. I am going to back Palmer, but I really don't blame anyone for going for Salah. The only issue for me is I'm tripled up on Chelsea's attack anyway. So maybe Palmer captain is a bit overkill, but I got to go with my gut here. Did I use a wild card? I used a wild card a few weeks ago. Game week 12. Would you take Trent rather than Van Dijk? Given the option, I would take Trent, yeah. Gabriel versus Trent for free. Oh, if Gabriel's starting, I think I'd prefer him, but Trent is very, very tempting. He's going to be on. Is he going to be a player we all want in the near future? I think. And I think Trent is a must-buy this week. I think you can give it another 2 weeks if you need to. I am kind of trying to work out myself how to work Trent into my team. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I might have to make one of those annoying transfers where I take a bench defender down to a 3.9. Start both Kirkes and Bowen. Yeah, for sure. Why not, man? Both great picks for this week. Saldinha. You could do it. It's a bit of a struggle to figure out a decent replacement, though. Outside of Kirkes, I don't really like any of the cheap defenders, so I'd maybe be tempted to upgrade if you are selling Digne. Welbeck to Wood? No, I don't think so. No. Is it a bit early to go for Wood? I don't mind Wood as a transfer this week. I don't mind it, but I don't think he'd be top of my priority list. I think I very well may bring in Wood within the next couple of weeks. Who did the experts recommend? The experts were slightly in favour of Salah in this week's video. Slightly in favour of Salah, but there wasn't very much in it. It was like Salah, what was it? Salah 50%, Palmer 47%, or something similar to that. Couple of super chats here. The Gaming Panda says, nearly 1 AM here in New Zealand. Should I start Enzo or Ahmad? Enzo. And Kirkes or Aït-Nouri? I'm going to say Kirkes. Love the vids. They're always really helpful. So keep up the highest work. The best work. Keep up the good work. I will, regardless the Gaming Panda, I will keep up the work. I'll keep up the work. Thank you for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully that's helped you out a little bit. Sophie said, should I sell Gvardiol? If so, who with? Yeah, if I was to sell Gvardiol, I would probably be going for an Arsenal defender. So maybe a Jurrien Timber could be the solution to that issue. Yeah, I think that's probably where I go. Although, to be fair, to Man City, the fixtures do turn a little bit from 18. So if you can hold on to Gvardiol for 2 game weeks, you get Everton, Leicester, West Ham, Brentford, Ipswich. It's not a bad run for a defender with attacking threat. But that said, I probably would still be looking to sell. If I had Gvardiol in my team, maybe instead of like Kirkes or someone, I would probably just move him straight to Timber and be done with it. Unless you can afford to go to Trent in one transfer, then then maybe that's the way. Struan says, start 2 Johnson, Rogers, and Burmo. I would start Burmo and Johnson. And Burmo and Johnson. Alters put in a super sticker, but no chat message, but I appreciate it regardless. Charlie says, I was lost last week without your live stream. So glad you're alive. Down for you. Yeah, it was my brother's birthday last weekend, so I wasn't available, sadly. But we're back. We are back. -4 for Cunha to Isak? No, I don't think so. How do you increase the squad value? So player price changes are based on how many people transfer specific players in. So, you know, often when a player does very well, lots of people will transfer that player in, and based on the volume of transfers and the percentage increase of that player's ownership, the players will increase or decrease in price if the player's being sold. So that increases your team value. If you have a lot of players that are becoming more and more popular, basically getting in early on players that a lot of people want to bring in is how to build team value in general. Should I play Semenyo or Strand Larsen? I think I'd go for Strand Larsen this week. Do you think João Pedro or Welbeck will start? I think both will start, to be honest. I would imagine both start. Alter says, forgot the message, please read. I want to sell Haaland to get first, Saka against Everton or Palmer against Brentford. Who do you think is going to explode? Well, I'm captaining Palmer. So, yeah, Palmer is my guy. I would go Palmer first. Palmer and then your Haaland replacement. If that could be Isak, chef's kiss. Beautiful. Beautiful. Why Kirkes over Hall? Plays for a better defence. He's the first factor, and he has better attacking threat as well. So better attacking threat and plays for the better defence. Although I do think Hall has the slightly better fixture. The one thing that did encourage me to bench Hall was the news that Pope could be unavailable, and I think that does impact Newcastle's defence. The only other thing is that Leicester, who are Leicester going to be playing in midfield this week? They have no Ndidi, no Samare. Winks, I think, is injured as well still. So who are they going to play in midfield? They could get overrun quite easily against Newcastle. I'm quite confident on a Newcastle win here. Would you play Colwill or Ait-Nouri? I play Ait-Nouri. I do think Chelsea will concede tomorrow. Gvardiol for Saliba and Mbeumo for Enzo? No, I wouldn't do it. If you're downgrading Mbeumo to Enzo, I'd want to take Gvardiol up to Trent. Lewis to Kirkes? No. Oh, wait. Sorry, I was thinking Lewis Hall. Rico Lewis? Yeah, if you want to. If you want to. If you don't really have many other options in defence. Why Ait-Nouri over Hall? That's a little bit more contentious. One of the reasons is I don't have Cunha, so it would be nice to have a little bit of Wolves coverage, although I do think Ipswich will win. So, I think it's similar to like a couple of weeks ago, which, hang on, let me find the game week that I'm talking about, where I played a defender I thought was worse for coverage. Yeah, it was here. It was this game week. Game week 13. I thought, I'll play Ait-Nouri because I kind of want to cover against... Well, I want to cover the potential of Cunha scoring by going for... Well, by benching the Bournemouth defender because Wolves were playing against Bournemouth. So I benched the defender I thought was better because I was trying to maximise my points, I guess. But of course, that really did not pan out at all because Kirkes scored 7 and Ait-Nouri scored 0. And I knew I preferred Kirkes. I advised everyone else to play Kirkes ahead of Ait-Nouri, but I tried a tricky little play myself and it backfired. So I mean, it looks like I'm going to be doing the exact same thing again this week, which kind of brings me to the question, should I just play Hull? Should I just fully bet against Wolves this week with no Cunha and no Ait-Nouri? Because I do think I prefer Hall, generally speaking. Should we just see what this looks like? The thing is, if I bench Ait-Nouri, people are not going to be happy because a lot of people own Ait-Nouri. So if you own Ait-Nouri and you see him on someone else's bench, that makes you angry, right? It makes you think, why is this guy benching him? I thought Ait-Nouri was a good pick. Ait-Nouri's fine for this week. But I don't think he's, you know, Ait-Nouri, Kirkes and Hall, they are similar. If we're totally honest with ourselves, they are similar. Pretty similar anyway. Would you keep Raul or sell to Isak? If you could do it for free, I would move to Isak. I'd move pretty much any forward to Isak this week if you can do it for free. I wouldn't captain him though. Now, more effective points for me when Ait-Nouri hauls. That's true, that's true. Ait-Nouri does, in fairness to him, have better goal threat. He has less assist threat, but more goal threat. Ait-Nouri has the better fixture. Is that true? I don't know if that's true. I think he's probably similar, Leicester and Ipswich, on current form. I mean, Leicester, like Ipswich, like, they pretty much score every game, don't they? Let's have a look. Okay, maybe not against Palace or Forest, but their XG, their XG numbers, I think, are not like any worse than Leicester. Let's have a look. But also, we can talk about who has the better fixture. Hall plays for the significantly better. Let's go goal threat. The significantly better defense. So yeah, they're similar for season data, but let's tighten it up a bit. Look for form data. Yeah, Ipswich actually putting up more non-penalty XG than Leicester at the moment. So Ipswich are arguably the better attack than Leicester. So arguably, Hall has the better fixture and plays for the better defence. Sounds like I'm talking myself into playing Hall, to be honest. Madueke start. I think he will. Yash says, "Hey Dan, how's your health?" It's improving. I think. If Pope's out, the Newcastle defence is bad. Yeah, it definitely takes a hit. But I don't think that it's guaranteed that Pope's out anyway. It's a bit. I think he's going to have a late assessment because it's an issue that he's already been carrying. It's not a new issue as far as I'm aware. But I don't know. Start Gomez or Bruno. Always back the attacker. Start Bruno. Start Bruno. All right, let's just going to get up my team leaks to see if we've got any information. Doesn't look like we have anything. No team news yet. But I think we might get some. Why not bench Kirkes? I'm not benching Kirkes. Bournemouth are a really strong defence, and Kirkes is the best attacking player of the three. So yeah, Bournemouth are like one of the most underrated defences in the Premier League. Like, they don't really concede many goals or many chances as well. Like, let's have a look through here throughout the season. You know, I mean, the clean sheets have not been crazy, but like the XGC data is really good. Oh, hang on, I'll just show you. So not conceding that many chances. Non-penalty expected goals against will go 10 game week range. See, Bournemouth are in 4th, and they're only behind Liverpool and Everton because they've played one less game. If Liverpool and Everton faced each other, then you'd probably see Bournemouth move into 3rd, which would put them as one of the best defences of the Premier League. It's really strong defence, really good attacking defender. I really like him. I really like Kirkes. Big fan. So I don't think there's any scenario in which I bench Kirkes. It would be between Hall and Nori for me. Good morning, Lucas. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Bench list. Bench list doesn't come out until 1 hour before deadline. We've got to save it for something. Yash says, Gvardiol, Bruno and Burmo to Saka, Enzo, Timber, worth a -4. Also, how to get Trent. Is it okay to wait a couple of weeks, or is he a must-have? No, you can wait a couple of weeks on Trent. I think I would take that -4, though. I think I would take it. I'm not, like, certain on it, but I think I would. Inter says, if Gabriel doesn't play, one of them will have to come off the bench anyway. And yeah, and that's a great situation. Like, I'm in a unique situation where I actually don't mind if Gabriel is unavailable this week. I'm actually cool with that. Bruno to Enzo for a -4? No way. There's no way I'd do Bruno to Enzo for a -4 as a straight transfer. Is Bowen in for Bruno Fernandes good? It's okay. It's okay. For free, I would maybe do it. But Bournemouth is not a good hopping on point. I wouldn't expect too much from Bowen against Bournemouth. Do I transfer out Matoma? I will have 7.8 million in the bank. There's nothing wrong with Matoma. You can keep him. Is Isak essential? No, he's not essential, but he is a brilliant player to have. And I would be terrified to not own him. Thoughts on Højlund? Do not touch. Yeah. Certainly not until we see some evidence that Manchester United are going to be good. Do I think Rashford will play? No. No, I do not. Isak for a -4? Probably not, but it depends who you're selling. Can you explain the Palmer over Salah captain pick? Well, data and projections are favouring Palmer. So that's a big factor. Well, I mean, I guess that's more of a decision-making factor. Ultimately, I prefer the fixture. I think Brentford are a team more than capable of conceding 4 goals. I mean, we saw that with was Newcastle last week. No, it was 2 goals conceded against Newcastle last week in the opening, like, whatever it was. But we have seen it happen. I'm not waffling, am I? Yeah, 3 goals conceded against Villa there. 3 goals conceded against Ipswich. 3 against Wolves. 3 against Spurs. You know, they are more than capable of conceding a decent amount of goals. They really are. But yeah, the data is favouring Palmer. Let's have a look. We'll go find Rob T, who did some updated projections. Let's look at the long list. Can you guys read that okay? Is it a little small? If we find a... We can just zoom in, I suppose. If we open it in a new tab. And then we can scroll down. So, yeah, it's putting Palmer 3rd for goal projections. Isak is 1st, by the way, for goal projections. But, of course, Palmer is not far behind, but gets more points for those goals. So, that's why Palmer is favoured for a captain in FPL terms. But, yeah, Isak number 1, Palmer in 2nd here. Then, well, Haaland in 2nd, technically, but we don't talk about him. Palmer, Salah, then Jackson is in there as well. Number 5. So Chelsea projected to score a lot of goals this week. And Palmer is seen to be the key of it all. Is Bowen on penalties now? Only if Paqueta's out. Only if there's no Paqueta. Let's look at these as well. So this is quite interesting. You can get a good idea of the clean sheet projections. Is this the updated one? Yeah, it is. So Newcastle actually sitting on a 40% chance of a clean sheet, which is quite good for Hull. And that's actually dropped a little bit as well. I think it was higher before the Pope news. The problem is, yes, Pope might be out, but Leicester are missing their entire midfield, which makes a big difference in both their attack and their defence. Jackson or Isak? If I had to pick one, I'd pick Isak. Salim says Palmer and Gordon in, Saka and Fernandes out, or for a -4, or just Gordon in for Fernandes, or no transfer at all. Oh, that's tough. Thing is, I would want to keep Fernandes for a cash cow player, I think. Palmer and Gordon for Saka and Fernandes. I think you would prefer to have Palmer and Gordon. I don't know if it's worth a -4. There is some risk there. I would say do it at your own risk. I find it difficult to recommend on that one. Dino or Burgess to start? I don't think Dino's starting this game week, so I guess Burgess. What else we got here? The difference between choosing Palmer or Salah is marginal. Both choices are great. Completely agree. Hey mate, Cucurella or Colwill. Chelsea's fixtures are good. Their defence is bad though. I would prefer Colwill because he's cheaper, but I'm not that bothered. Gomez has a punt to wait Konate for Liverpool cover. I don't think so, because Konate, he's actually going to be back in a couple of weeks. He's progressing really well, apparently. So Konate could be back sooner than expected. And he's been really good this season. Is Saka an option for captain this week? I don't think so. Because I think Everton are actually not that bad defensively. Harley says, Aït-Nouri to Trent now or in game week 18? If you've got money in the bank, then yeah, just do it, I suppose. But I don't think it's an essential transfer. And if you want to wait for more information, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Aït-Nouri or Kirkes on the bench. I prefer Kirkes. I do prefer Kirkes to Aït-Nouri. Hull versus Aït-Nouri is a little bit closer. Reckon dropping Haaland, Semenyo for Palmer and Isak for a -4. I quite like that actually, Karthik. For a -4, that's not too bad. What are the leaks? There aren't any yet, but if you're patient, we will have some before you know it. Yeah, we'll see. Sell Conser for Colwill or Kirkes or roll the transfer? Definitely roll the transfer, Dev. Bojan says, should I sell Cunha? No, not unless you have a lot of spare free transfers. You don't have Isak, but you do have a plan. Who to start, Semenyo or Enzo? I'd probably go for Enzo. But there's nothing wrong with playing Semenyo. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's kind of close. Maybe it's closer than I think. I like both. I maybe lean Enzo, but that might be my bias because I have him. Is it ever okay to burn a transfer? Have you got 5 free transfers? You got 5. You remember you can roll up to 5 free transfers now, not 2. Trent or Timber, who's the better pick? Trent, generally speaking, Trent, if you can afford to get him. Semenyo or Ahmad? Oh, that's easy, Semenyo. I think it's easy anyway. You have 5 free transfers? Okay, in that case, is there maybe like, I don't know, do you feel like taking Fabianski down to a 3.9 million goalkeeper or something like that, just to get a bit of team value for later on? It's an option. Or, you know, downgrading a defender to a 3.9, maybe bringing in Burgess if you have a defender in your squad who you know you're never going to play. Do you ever get tired about talking about FPL? Not really, no. To be honest, not really. Yeah. But it's like anyone, like, with any kind of job. Like, if you work in plumbing, if you're a plumber, you don't ask your plumber, hey, plumber, do you ever get tired of plumbing? They might say yes, to be fair. But they might have had to be doing it for a few years. Fair few years. Thoughts on Colwell? Don't like Chelsea's defence, generally speaking, and I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet tomorrow. Keeper conundrum: start Pickford or Fabianski. All right, we will do a bench list. I think I would say Fabianski on that, but I think we will do a bench list, and we'll cover keepers on the bench list as well. Hull, Dina or Burgess to start? Oh, definitely Hull. That's really easy. 187 KA says, my friend's a plumber. He's very tired of it. Has he tried talking about FPL? See if he gets tired of that one. Yeah, Harry, it's fine, mate. I saw... You have a lot of imposters, my friend. They did come into the chat. They did try and put some fake team news out there. I deleted the comment and banned them from the channel immediately. It's not the first time someone has come into the chat impersonating other FPL content creators. Even myself. People have tried to impersonate me in my own chat. Ridiculous. But don't worry, Harry. I've dealt with it, and I always will. And I will never give them any attention other than the attention that I'm giving them right now. But I wasn't even going to do that. Just deleted, moved on. Thing is, people need to understand that the real FPL Harry is going to have a highlighted name and a check mark next to his name because he's verified. So if you do see people leaking team news in the chat, look out for the verification tick next to their name because that tells all. That tells all. Vizzo says, Nori Murillo, Hull, Mazraoui, Gabriel. Help transfer. I don't think you need to make a transfer. That defence looks absolutely fine to me. Start Gabriel, Hull, and Knight Nori. Murillo first on the bench. And Mazraoui last on the bench. And yeah, you've got yourself covered. Jack says, Isak captain. Thank me later, Dan. Jack, I'm not going to captain Isak personally, but hey, go for it, man. I mean, I'm as an Isak owner, I'm wishing you the best. I really, really am. Hi, Dan. Estupinian or Aitnori? To play or to buy? I don't think I would buy either. If I had to play one, I think I would go for... Oh, I would go for Aitnori? Or would I? Don't know. That's a really tough question. Supreme Bison says, what do you see yourself doing after FPL content? Hopefully, I'll carry on making content in some capacity for like a long time. Because I love it, man. Honestly, I just love making content. Even if it wasn't FPL content, I would do something else. If I was banned from making FPL videos, I just love making videos. And also, like, I don't know, I feel like I maybe even have more potential making other kinds of videos. Because FPL videos, because you have to make them so, like, frequently, you can't spend very much time on videos. I'd love to one day make videos that genuinely, they just take me a week to make. I can put all of my effort into editing, learning new editing like tricks and stuff. Because I don't really have very much time to learn making these videos at the moment. So yes, I think I would carry on making content in some capacity. Or I'd be more than open to being an editor, you know, taking a step back and being a video editor for someone else. I'd definitely be up for that as well. It's like making videos, man. I don't know any different. It's just something I've always done. Those types of videos have more staying power as well. Absolutely, man. Like, it's frustrating in a way that you'll spend all day on a new video every day and they go out of fashion within 24 hours. Greg says, do you do all the editing yourself? That's impressive. I do, yeah. It's I don't know if it's impressive. It's practice. Like, I think I probably spend more time editing videos than a lot of other people as well, but that's because I genuinely love it and I enjoy doing it. Like, each video is like minimum 4 hours editing. Flawless H says, read your chat, mate. Is this a live stream or what? What do you think? Who do you think I'm talking to right now? Okay. I very much am reading the chat and responding to things. Crazy. Bro, you would do well in IT world as a data scientist. You got crazy dashboard skills. I don't know about data scientist, man. I just do the very basic stuff that is required of an FPL manager. Do you think FPL content on YouTube is oversaturated? Kind of. I mean, it is getting to a point where it is going to be more and more difficult to break into the FPL content creation sphere because there is so many FPL content creators right now. But I think the quantity of FPL content creators has also pushed the quality of FPL content. But the other thing is, like, for a lot of people, like, they don't really care about the quality of the content. They just want to follow someone who is good at FPL, which is a unique thing in FPL compared to many other areas of YouTube, where you don't actually have to be that good of a YouTuber, if you like, if you're good at FPL. Carter says, please don't give Dan hate when he's literally telling us how much work he puts in. It's not hate, it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. We're all good. We're all good, Carter. I appreciate you stepping in to try and defend me there. I do appreciate it, my friend. You're a good lad. When is a good time to play your bench boost? I would say wait for a double game week. There will be double game weeks later on in the season. And I'm hoping to play my bench boost around then. We'll see exactly what it is. I will, in the very near future, sit down and do the full calculations on when fixtures are likely to be rescheduled to. That's another thing I love doing every year. Just going through all the fixture calendar and trying to figure out what's going to go in where. And we'll figure out the double game weeks. I've got a pretty good record of that the last couple of seasons of predicting correctly as well. So hopefully we can continue the trend. Quite proud of that. What's it like being criticised for FPL, your rank and your team selection? Was it easier when you were your only critic? To be honest, like, I've been making videos for as long, or FPL videos for as long as I've been taking FPL seriously. So I don't really know what it's like before, but at first it was difficult, but now I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm more than happy to forge my own path. Like, the amount of stick I've got this week for selling Cunha, for example, for Isaac. Like, people are, you know, I've genuinely got people calling me an idiot, useless, people saying, this is why no one thinks you're a good FPL manager. How could you possibly sell Cunha with these fixtures? You must be so dumb. Fair enough. Let's see what happens. I think Isaac's going to outscore Cunha personally, but if you don't, then fair enough. Thoughts on the new chip being added? Do we do this now? Do we do this now? Ali wants to talk about the assistant manager chip as well. All right. Do we know about this, guys? Are we in the loop of the assistant manager. I did make a little guide, actually. I wonder if I can find the image. Where did I make it? Is it this? No. Number 15. Here we go. Alright, let's throw this on screen. Open with Chrome. Can we read that okay? That looks pretty good, actually. I should put my images in more often. Alright, okay, well, here we go. So, if you haven't checked out the mystery chip yet, I'm gonna talk you through it, and then I'm gonna answer any questions and give my opinion on it as well. So, here we go. So, the mystery, and by the way, after we've done this, we'll get back onto Game Week 16. Don't worry, we won't be doing this for very long. 10 minutes on the mystery chip, and then we'll come back to actual FPL stuff. Or more current FPL stuff. Although this is a current topic of conversation. So, the assistant manager chip, the mystery chip as it was previously known as. What you do is you pick a manager for your FPL team from the 20 Premier League team managers. So, you can choose Arne Slot, Sean Dyche, Mikel Arteta, Thomas Frank, whoever you fancy. Picking a manager costs between 0.5 million and 1.5 million from your budget to activate. So yeah, it costs you money to activate this chip. You get the money back after the chip is finished. But yeah, you have to pay money to activate this chip. It's like less money for the managers lower down in the table and more money for like your slots, Arteta's, Guardiola. Picking a manager takes up one of your 3 slots from that team. So if you have Saka, Gabriel, and Raya in your team, forget about getting Mikel Arteta as your manager. You can't. You already have your 3 slots occupied. You'll have to sell one of your Arsenal players to bring in the Arsenal manager. Okay. It can be played from any time after game week 24. That's pretty straightforward, actually, that one. I mean, it's a bit strange that you can only play it after game week 24, but there you go. Once played, the chip cannot be cancelled. The chip lasts for 3 consecutive game weeks. So as soon as you activate it, your new assistant manager in your team will last for 3 game weeks. They will be in your team for 3 game weeks. No other chips can be used during this period, so if you're thinking about triple captaining at the same time or wildcarding around the same time, not possible. You can also transfer your manager during this 3 game week period, but it will cost you free transfers / hits. So the assistant manager really kind of works like a 12th man in your team, I suppose. As for scoring, managers earn 6 points each time their team win, 3 points per draw and 0 points per loss. Managers also earn 1 point for each goal their team scores and 2 points for each clean sheets their team receives during that 3 game week period. Now, this is where things get a little crazy, especially in terms of strategy. If your manager plays against a team ranked 5 or more places above them in the league table during the week in which the chip was first activated, they will earn 10 additional points if they beat them, so 16 total, or 5 additional points if they draw, 8 total. So this is the thing. We'll do the last thing. Any double game week fixtures are scored as long as they are within the 3 game week activation period. So if there is a double game week or 2 double game weeks within the 3 game week activation period, the double game weeks all count for scoring. So what my first criticism we'll do it from a strategical point of view, is if the cheap managers, the lower down the league managers, have this huge advantage of getting extra points for, getting their wins and getting their draws, Why are they cheaper? They already have they already have a leveling. There's always the playing field between like the good managers and the lower down managers. The playing field has already been leveled based on the additional points. So why are the lower down the table managers also cheaper? That doesn't make sense. Why? It basically makes it pointless to pick a 1.5 million slot or Arteta when you can pick like a lower mid-table manager quite easily. There is so much more points potential by going for a manager lower down the table, and yet those are the cheaper guys. So I don't think they thought about that very much. I don't really... Oh, got some questions as well. Keep the questions coming in, by the way, guys. I will answer them. Lil AJ says, wait, I don't understand what you said. If it's a double game week, each game counts as one, or is it still the 3 game weeks? It's 3 game weeks. So if there is 2 fixtures within 3 game weeks, then you get 2 fixtures. If there is 5 fixtures within 3 game weeks, you get 5 fixtures. So if there's double game weeks in there, it doesn't matter. You'll get the 3 game weeks. So yeah, ideally, you would use your mystery chip in a 3 game week period in which one of the 3 game weeks is a double. There's a chance you could use the mystery chip to cover 2 double game weeks. If we see a period of time where there are multiple double game weeks in a short span of time, and there is a chance of that, then that looks really good for the mystery chip. Scott says, disagree, Dan. They're so cheap. If there was no points difference, there would be no point in saving 0.5 million on a much worse manager. No, I'm not saying do away with the scoring. I'm saying do away with the pricing. I'm saying choose one, really, but I'm saying, you know, can you think of a reason to go for an Arteta or a Slot for 1.5 million? Because I can't. I can't think of a single reason why I would go there. Makes no sense. Right, other things. Why does it cost money? And why does it take up one of your slots in your team? That doesn't really... It doesn't feel within the spirit of FPL. A chip is something that you have a lot of freedom with. You can play whenever you want to try and get a boost in one game week. And yet we have to think about budget. So you might have to sell a player, downgrade one of your starting players just to activate the chip. And if you already have 3 players from that team, you're going to have to sell a player from your team to activate the chip. This is very restrictive. Now, often chips can be restrictive in that there are more optimal ways of playing the chip, and I think that is more true than ever with the mystery chip, but it's very rare that it's restrictive in terms of just being able to click the activate button. You need to meet several conditions. What other chip does that? The only other chip in FPL that has any other of these restrictions just to activate it are the free hit and wildcard that you can't activate in game week 1 because that'd be pointless. It wouldn't work. You get unlimited transfers in game week 1 anyway. So that is an understandable restriction. It's there for a very practical reason. The only reason I can think of why managers are essentially treated as players is probably a coding issue, and they've coded a 12th man, essentially. A 12th man and a 5th position within FPL, if that makes sense. So you've got your goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, forwards, and now they've coded an extra position, which is the manager. They have to assign a budget, prices, not even a budget. They have to assign prices to this new position. And because of the coding of the game, where you can't have 3 players from one team, the manager is treated as a player, and therefore that. So I think one of 2 things, and possibly both things, is happening. The first thing is that I think they have tried to throw in, make an interesting chip, but are working within very rigid and unchanging code, legacy code, and are trying to work with what they've got, and as such have had to place a lot of restrictions on FPL managers, which I do think is against the spirit of FPL, but that's what they've chosen to do. The other thing that is possible, could be both, is that, I don't know, if I'm totally honest, my first opinions on this chip is that I'm trying to think, how did they come up with this? There are so many great ideas for chips that, you know, we as the community have floated and, you know, proposed ideas. I mean, you guys have been suggesting chips to me for years, like, of great ideas that you guys have. No one has ever had this idea. So how did they come up with this one? Well, it sounds like they had a bunch of, I don't know, people coming over from, I don't know, like university work experience, or a bunch of temps. Maybe like, I'm going to be pretty honest, pretty young people, because you would have, I think if you've played this game for a long time, you probably know that this isn't really what FPL is all about, but fine. So they've got a bunch of university work experience guys or temps in a room together, and they've just said, go crazy. Let's put all of your ideas in at once. You want managers? Okay, great. Oh, you want to put price on the managers? Yeah, do it. Oh, you want to make the managers take up a slot from the team? Yeah, do it. Oh, you want managers to score 6 points for a win, 3 points for a draw? Yeah, makes sense. Let's do that. Oh, you also want them to score additional points for winning against teams that are better than them. Okay. You want the chip to last 3 game weeks? Okay, all right, fine. We'll throw that one in as well. You want to be able to transfer the manager during the 3 game week period? Okay, I guess we'll add that in as well. It's like they've thrown so many ideas all in together to create something that is actually really complicated in practice. In theory, add a manager to your FPL team. Yeah, great. Sounds good. But with all of the restrictions and with all of the, I don't know, the thinking that we will have to do, like, this chip massively is advantageous to the people who have the time, like me, people who have the time to sit down and actually think about this and plan this, and you guys who consume content as well. It's a massive advantage for engaged managers. So look, I'm expecting to gain from this chip, don't get me wrong, but I also do care about the spirit of FPL and the simplicity of FPL and what makes it a game that is so appealing to all. I think that is important as well. And it's too complicated. I can't see this running. And it continues a running trend in FPL over the past year, where they are throwing a lot of complicated ideas that are not as interesting as they think they are. And they're just throwing stuff at the wall at the moment. I mean, like the FPL Challenge thing that they're trying to push. Who plays FPL Challenge? Come on, who plays that? I think they are at this present moment a little bit out of touch with their key audience demographic. I think they might think they understand it. I just wish they would consult, you know, people who are, you know, actually in the FPL community, like regular players of the game, dedicated players of the game. I'm not saying that has to be me, because I'm sure there is a million other people who could do just as good, if not a better job. The ideas that they've been coming up with recently are just not it. People have been asking for so much within FPL. People have been asking for so many different things in FPL, and they keep delivering things that nobody asked for over and over again. Nobody asked for this chip. Nobody wanted this chip. Nobody wanted FPL Challenge. Nobody wanted the new changes to FPL Challenge. Focus the energy on things that people want. There are so many great ideas that we all have. and none of them are being implemented, but this kind of stuff is. And I think that's a bit of a shame. But it's better than nothing. I have to give them that. I have to put my hands up and say, I'd rather they do something like this than do nothing. Because at least we got something. But there we have it. Rant over. Rant over. Let's do the bench list. Am I waffling, by the way, guys? Like, do you agree? Or, I mean, obviously you're going to say I'm overreacting, but that's kind of my job. My job is to be passionate about FPL. So if I was doing anything other than that, then you should be worried. The team seems too luck dependent. I mean, you could say that about any chip, to be fair. It is more swingy, though. It is more swingy. Actually, one more quick note. Like, just to have a quick look nice and early. Premier League table. So, like, we've got teams like Spurs, Newcastle, Man United. If they stay low and have like a late resurgence in the league, could be interesting to hop on some of these teams. Like Palace is one of the teams I'm interested in for a assistant manager chip, because I think Palace are going to be on the up big time. But it just depends, because Palace could easily be, you know, mid-table by the time we can even use the mystery chip. But yeah, this is the kind of thing we'll probably do. We'll be looking for teams like maybe like 12th to 16th, this kind of area. I think that's where we'll be looking for it to use our mystery chip, but we'll see. We'll see. More work for you, Dan? I don't mind it, to be fair. Like, I like this kind of like working out stuff. I enjoy it, so it's no problem. Okie dokie. Bench list. What we saying? All hits, no misses. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Joseph says that on Raptors channel they're favouring Salah. Is Raptor captaining Salah though? Because the channel will always converge slightly, at least a little bit. Because I'm captaining Palmer, we got the FPL Mate Palmer captain in fact to consider, which will only be a couple of %, but still. Right, so you guys are getting in your suggestions for the bench list already. Good to see. We have got Rodgers in here, very popular. Aina can go in here. Dina can go in here. Greaves can go in. I don't even know if Greaves is going to play, to be honest, but I maybe try him ahead of Dina. Ahmad is going to go above Rodgers. Nori will go. I think would I back the attacker? Yeah, I think I would. João Pedro, you start him, no doubt. Semenyo would go. I think I'm going to put Semenyo above these guys. Kirkes is going to go above Nori. And I'm actually going to put Hall above Nori as well. You ain't going to like that. But I do like both of them more than Colwell. Right, Enzo Fernandes. I'm going to pop Enzo in here. Dylan says, who is the best Madison replacement under 6.5 million? Enzo? Just go all the way down and then use that money for future moves. Cunha. Nah, we don't need Cunha in here. You play Cunha. Bowen, you play Bowen. And Burmo's interesting. I think you do still play him, though. I'll put him above Enzo. Penalty taker, man. Raul Jimenez. Tough one, man. Still think you back him because of the penalties, but I'm going to put him here. Oh, that's the wrong accent. Bruno Fernandes. I don't think we need to talk about benching Bruno, do we? Kim wants to know between Wood and Semenyo. I don't think we need to answer that. Wood is pretty clear, isn't he? Or do we need Wood? Do we need Wood on the bench list? I'd say he's pretty clear. I mean, yeah, you go top of this list. You want Bruno Fernandes as well? Well, yeah, I mean, Bruno Fernandes would also go pretty high on this list. Maybe here? Right, Verbruggen. We'll put Flecken in. And we'll put in Fabianski. Maybe Fabianski above Flecken, to be fair. And then at the top, we'll put Raya. And maybe Alisson after him. If you fancy going Alisson. Gavardio. Okay. You got to back Gavardio, really. Oh, do you? Yeah, yeah, above the cheap defenders, I think. Are you guys seriously thinking about benching Cunha? You gotta be crazy, right? I sold him because I wanted Isak, not because I thought he was a player to bench. Like, come on, guys, you don't bench Cunha. Sells. Here. Kabalash says, we aren't doing this again like last time where we had 40 players on the list. No, we're not. And that's, no, I feel like I've taught everyone a very strong lesson about why we can't just include any old player on the bench list, because it just gets stupid and you can't even read it anymore. Well, I put Kukureya right next to Colwill. Like, this is what I'm saying. People are putting Bowen in. You're not going to bench Bowen, are you? Mittelmer, you're not going to bench him. Gordon, why on earth do you own Gordon if you're going to bench him against Leicester at home? If you're even thinking about benching Gordon, just sell him. Because if you're not going to play him against Leicester at home, then you are never going to play him. Ever. Just sell him. Ridiculous. Gordon goes right at the top of this list. Crazy to even question it. Crazy. He did get rested though, didn't he? And I think that's probably panicking some people. Is that why? Nah. No, I'm sticking with my guns here. If you are thinking about benching Gordon this week, you don't deserve him and you should sell him for a -4. There we have it. Gabriel. I understand Gabriel because he's obviously potentially out, but I would for sure start him. Like, ahead of most of these guys, to be honest. Oh my word. I think I would put Gabriel here. Hang on, let me find a warning emoji to throw next to his name so people don't perceive this as me saying that he's available. Although you never know. Wissa. I think you play Wissa. But he wouldn't go crazy high. Maybe here. Takok says Gabriel probably either starts or doesn't play, so no reason to bench. 100% agreed. Are people sleeping on Mitoma? I think they must be sleeping on him because a lot of people are asking whether they should bench him. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Play Wissa over in Burma, eh? I think so, yeah. On current form. James says, take a -4 for Porro to Trent and Solanke to Isak for Gameweek 17. No. Porro plays against Southampton this week. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Trent has the trickier fixture against Fulham. Yeah, there's no way you bench Pedro Porro. Alright, a few more goalkeeper suggestions. Sanchez and Henderson. So it's a little easier to fill up the goalkeepers. It's like Sanchez would go here? Is that right? Well, now more I look at it, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at these clean sheet odds. Maybe I'm being a little harsh. Maybe above Sells? Oh, I don't know. He'd be around that area. He'd be around the middle. Somewhere around the middle. Soham says, I have 3 transfers. Should I do Wood to Isak, and Burmo to Enzo, and Gvardiol to Trent this week? Yeah, actually, that sounds really good. That does sound really good. I like it. Looks good to me. Still no team news. Other than it's going to be a late fitness test for Gabriel, but we kind of already knew that. Because he has been training. Isak differential captain. If I had to go outside of Palmer and Salah this week, I would go for Isak, but honestly, I prefer to go for one of Palmer or Salah this week. Sim's in the chat. He says, chat, who is captaining? It's almost a sentence. Sim, are you in Juice Studio today? You doing a streamception? Cunha on the bench list? No! Why? Why are you trying to bench Cunha? Stop it! Naughty! If my wife wasn't asleep in the next room, I would blow my whistle right now and give you a yellow card. I'll still give you a yellow card. Oh, you're asking who I was who I'm captain? I'm Captain Palmer. I'm set. Sim, are you still on Salah? Wait, were you on? I can't remember who you're on now. Yellow card for trying to bench Cunha. She still is asleep. In fairness, she was on a night shift last night and didn't get in from work until 6 AM this morning. So you're on Salah at the moment, but getting cold feet. Well, these kind of cold feet. A little bit of this. Back yourself, mate. What if you captain Salah and I captain Palmer? That means at least one of us is going to be happy on Monday when we do the podcast. How about Van Hecker? Do people have him? I don't think he's popular enough to go on the bench list, but he'd go reasonably low here. He would go between Colwill and Aina, I think. So pretty low. Conser's interesting. I think quite a few people do have Conser. And I think I would look to play him above Colwill, but not Aitnori. Gabriel News, late test for him. But we'll see. We'll see if he's fit to play. Dunk, I guess Dunk and Van Hecker come as a pair. Why is Dina so low? I don't think he's going to start. Wohi says, I missed the podcast. Who is Sim's differential of the week so I know to bench him? Well, first of all, don't miss the podcast. Don't ever miss the podcast. That is a rule. was Sims differential of the week? I don't think it was. I don't think they were very good this week. Who was it? Oh man, I'm having a bad brain moment. Was it Cliver? It was Cliver. It was Cliver. FPL discomforts here as well. Have I made transfers? Let's see your team. Yeah, I've made transfers. I'm absolutely huge for my transfers as well. There you go. 2 free transfers, 1 rolled. This is my team. Sold Cunha for Isaac. Sold Fernandez for another Fernandez, Enzo. So, yeah. Cunha is gone. See you later, alligator. I'm going to get cooked in the chat if Cunha scores today. But we'll see. Ricardo, thank you for the super sticker. It's triple Chelsea plus captain. Yeah, but in fairness, Chelsea do have the highest projected goals here. 2.8 projected goals. That's higher than any other team. KSI just super chatted £500 on Andy's stream to say Gabriel is out. How is that fair, man? Why is KSI in Andy's stream and not in mine? For a start. To be fair, like, he obviously did that to troll, and that is amazing work, by the way. But I am a legitimate OG KSI GWT fan. He can get all of his information from here. He should be here. KSI should be right here. I watch every Sidemen Sunday. I've been watching him since 2011. Maybe even earlier. Maybe not earlier, actually. That's a long time ago. He belongs here with me. And we should be friends. We should be good friends. I loved olden days, KSI. Well, I loved him then. I love him now. He's just a funny guy, man. Don't worry, Pieface will super chat me. Somehow I don't think that will happen. I don't think that will happen. I'm more likely to super chat Pieface, I think. Is Watkins starting? I don't know, man. It's not looking particularly good. If you haven't already made your transfer, I would just sell Watkins for Isaac. Straightforward move. For free, it is straightforward anyway. But is Gabriel actually out? No, well, no. He's having a late test, which we kind of expected might be the case. But I think there's a really good chance. Do you think they're going to keep it tight? Arsenal are doing everything they can in the world to keep their team secret. So I don't know. Maybe we get a leak. I hope we do. Dallo on the bench list? No. Right at the bottom. Dan, is there Dorito of Death merch? No. I don't think anyone's buying FPL Mate merch. Start Bruno Fernandes or Rodgers. They're both on the bench list. They're both on the bench list. -4 Bowen to Enzo. Chair, you've lost your mind. You're trying to bench Cunha. You're trying to bench... What is it? You was trying to bench Cunha? And trying to bench Bowen and trying to bench whoever else. Now you want to take a -4 to remove Bowen? Calm down, my friend. Calm down. Vidat said I'd buy it. You would buy a Dorito of Death merch. I don't think you would. To be fair, Fanprints do have a... hang on. Fanprints.uk. You can get a... Well, is it a mug? I think it's a mug. You can get a Dorito of Death mug, I think. Hungover. Hungover warning on no return date. Hilarious. And I don't know if there's any. Is there t-shirts maybe? There you go. Fanprints.uk, which is a website I do co-own. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to. Oh, that's not a link. If you do want to check it out, then please feel free. Oh, you can't even see because I've got the bench list up, haven't I? But yeah, let's find it again. Fanprints.uk, we are doing it. There. There's the Dorito of Death, the death mug. If I can find it. There you go. Dorito of Death mug. Dorito of Death t-shirts as well. It's all there. Anyway, we can close this now. I think we're done with the mystery chip. Throw my team on screen for a bit until people ask for the bench list again. What is your shirt, Dan? We are wearing today, Mr. FPL Mate. Who are you wearing today? Today we're wearing a beautiful little Nigerian number, representing my own cultural heritage from West Africa. The West African delight that is Nigeria, the Super Eagles. That's who we are wearing today. There's nothing wrong with benching Bowen if you believe your other players will outscore him in this game week. Yes, but there's that, and then there's taking a -4 to sell Bowen, which is a yellow card behaviour. That is yellow card behaviour. Gomez or Kwanzaa? Neither for me. Yeah, Konate's back soon, like much sooner than expected, so be very careful on that one. Very careful. Why Palmer captain over Salah? Better fixture. Leaks, please. If I had them, I would give them to you. I swear team news has dried up a little bit this season, though. I say a little bit, I mean a lot. Is Timber, Gabriel, Hall, and Aït-Nouri a good defence? Yes. Yes, it is. And Burma or Delap? Delap. I do think Ipswich will score. Why do you always respond to send your red cards, random questions, and I'm trying to ask you for help with my team and you just ignore me like you ignore me? I honestly try and answer the questions that are easiest for me to answer, in the sense, you know, if they're short and sweet and simple, then I try and answer a lot of those questions. And interesting as well. They have to be interesting. But like, a lot of people just throw their entire team in the chat and say, should I take a -4 to use this combination of players, or take a -8 with the plan of using a triple captain in game week 45 and then go to my nans and have a lovely Sunday roast. And it's like, this question is so long that it's boring for me to read out for everyone else in the chat, and nobody else is in your specific scenario. So a lot of those kind of questions I don't really answer. It's not because I hate you. It's because there is no easy answer. There's no easy and interesting answer. But bench-related questions, we try and cover them with the bench list. We try and answer all of those simple questions as well. How to grow a mustache, for example. Easy question to answer. You just stop shaving one day. You stop shaving the bit between your nose and your mouth one day, and then we have it. Patrick says, I will make it simple then. Bench one of Pedro, Semenyo, or Gordon. And Patrick, you've got yourself a yellow card, mate, because you've said bench Gordon. the thought of benching Gordon is yellow card worthy. If you're not going to play him against Leicester at home when they're missing their entire midfield, then just sell him. If you're not going to play him now, you never will. You will never play him. So that's your yellow card. There we have it. Noriel Kakes. I think we just need to throw up the bench list again because we're getting a lot of bench-related questions that we have already answered. Saka captain. I'm not keen on Saka captain because Everton are genuinely a good defence. Matt says, Semenyo to Enzo for free. You ignored me earlier. I do apologise, Matt. I don't think this is an essential transfer, no. If you were trying to free up some budget, then going for Enzo I think is a nice idea and a great way of doing that. But Semenyo to Enzo feels a little luxury. I do prefer Enzo slightly, but there's not enough in it to make it worth the transfer for me, unless you are reinvesting the money you saved immediately. Carl says, your advice on how to grow a mustache doesn't work for half the population. True. I don't really have advice for the other half. I'm sorry. Thoughts on Isak captain? It is not worth the risk. With Palmer and Salah, they're going to be so high owned. You could end your season if I think Isak will score, don't get me wrong, but Isak blanks and both Palmer and Salah do really well and get another one of their 15 to 20 pointer game weeks, then you are in big trouble. It's not worth taking that kind of risk this early in the season. We've got so much time to make up ground. So there we have it. Callum says, YouTube doesn't let me donate with text on £5. What? Really? Well, it should do. It should be like, I don't know, like a £1 minimum. It's something like that. And it's not even me who controls that. But yes, Callum, for £10, I don't really have a choice but to rate your team, do I? Because that is quite a lot of money, and I do appreciate it, Callum. Give me 1 second. Let me just answer Anurag, who says, hey, Dan, I have Gabriel Cole Hall as starting defenders with Lewis and Greaves on the bench, 1 free transfers and 0.1 in the bank. Who should I sell? No one. Maybe Greaves. I don't know one. Defender transfers are rarely worth it. I think Gabriel will play. Cole and Hall are fine. If Lewis or Greaves, well, if Greaves had to come off your bench, then it wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't think it's worth making a transfer there, to be honest. But if I had to make a transfer, I would move Lewis to Kirkes. But you only have one, so I'm going to say no. Carnivorous Plant says, so people have to be interesting or give you money. I am unsubbing. I mean, if I'm totally honest with you, kind of. Well, not really, but like, I can't really. If someone sends me £10 and says rate my team, like, that's a lot. I feel bad ignoring it. That feels rude. But Callum, I don't know where you've posted your teams. They're like, I don't even use my Discord server, if I'm totally honest. Is there a rate my team channel? Callum, you're gonna have to help me out a little bit here. Maybe it'll be easier if you tweet me. Callum, tweet me with your team in a way that, and identify yourself in a very specific way so I know it's you. Because I know there's going to be a couple of people who are now going to tweet me their teams thinking, oh, well, I'm going to trick Dan into thinking that I am Callum. But you're not. Sam wants to put Cunha on the bench list, and Sam gets a yellow card as well. Do not bench Cunha. For heaven's sake, please. Do not bench Cunha. That is so dangerous. So dangerous. Crazy. Matoma on the bench list. We can do that though. I didn't want to put Matoma on the bench list really because he's going to go so high, but since we are forced to, do I just put Cunha at the top of the bench list so people stop asking? Okay, FPL chat, Mr. Melon. I don't know. There's a guy who's called Just M. I am on streamer mode. Hang on. Oh, there you are. Okay, I found your team. How do I open this? Open in browser. Okay, right, let's see how this goes. Let's close down Discord because I don't want to use Discord. Alright, here is the £10 team rating. No one get any funny ideas here, by the way. I'm not doing... I don't want this to become a paid-for team rating service. Right, Raya, Gabriel, Alexander, Arnold, Gavardio. Yeah, nice. Johnson, it's okay for this week. Erdegaard, not keen, but it's fine. Palmer, Enzo, Salah, Cunha, Wood. Do you have any free transfers or anything? It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid team. Generally speaking. I think I'd play João Pedro over Enzo. But I'm guessing you only transferred Enzo in now, so you want to play him. But no, I'd play João Pedro over Enzo. I'm guessing you don't have any free transfers, and I wouldn't recommend making any transfers. But it's a solid team. A lot of things I like in there. I'd probably look to downgrade Gavardio. And maybe look to get Isak into your team, maybe. Erdegaard is interesting as well. Not super keen on him. Maybe look to get him to Saka. That's another thing you could do. There you go. A couple of suggestions, but yeah, nothing immediate that needs doing. Let's put the bench list back. There you go. Your £10 team rating. Was it worth it? Probably not. But like, I think you've already made your transfers. So like, what? Why do you want advice on your team after you've already made your transfers? I guess you just wanted a rating. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Nicole says, hi Dan, 56 points in Gameweek 15. Palmer is a star. Took a -4 point hit. Trent and Enzo in for Aina and Dibbling. Nice. 2 choices to make. João Pedro or Cunha. I'd play Cunha. Hall or Aitnori. I would play Hall. There we have it. Das Channel says, who to bench, Mitoma or João Pedro? I'd probably bench João Pedro. No, sorry, I would bench Mitoma and play João Pedro. Start Estupinian or Aitnori? It's tight. Gonna say Aitnori. Can I have a red card just for the fun of it? No. No, you can't. Bruno Cunha to Enzo Jackson for a -4. No, definitely not. No way. There's not... this is the one issue. Because I've sold Cunha, I think a lot of people have interpreted that as me thinking Cunha is bad. Like, he's not perfect, but he's not bad. Like, he's more than fine. He's a good player to own for the next 2 game weeks. Crispy says, do I have to be KSI for him to answer? No. And there you go. There's your answer. Isak or Nicholas Jackson. If I could choose just one, I would choose Isak. Who's my captain? It is Palmer. What's your reasoning behind Wissa over Semenyo? Wissa is in better form. It's the simple answer to that one. Are you in a bad mood today, mate? Not really. I'm a bit ill. And I guess maybe I'm a bit irritable today. Maybe I'm a bit irritable. I do apologise if I am. I think when you stream for 2 hours, you start answering the same questions over and over again, and your brain starts to get a bit fried. Welbeck for the bench list. Welbeck is a decent bench list player, to be fair. I've got to give it to him. I'm going to bring up the spirits. I'm going to bring up the positivity. Welbeck is a good suggestion for the bench list. I like it. I appreciate you. Waffle UK says you'll be okay. Thank you, mate. I hope you're right. Welbeck. I think I would start Welbeck. I think I would. If he could get back to form, you know, I throw him in the same area as João Pedro. Evan Nilsson. A few people are asking about Evan Nilsson. No leaks, by the way. I did just check. I will keep checking though. Evan Nilsson. Where, oh where would he go? Pretty high, right? Would he go above Cunha and Wood and João Pedro? Maybe not. But maybe. Now I'm going to drop Wood down a couple of spots. I'm actually going to put Evan Nilsson here. That looks nice. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Carl says, if your brain is starting to get fried, that only means you're going to cook this game week. Oh, I so hope you're right. I so hope you're right. Hi, Dan. Munoz or Cucurella? I prefer Munoz, but it is a little early. Weird Edit says, bro, please just put Vardy on the bench list. Weird Edits, you have been asking to put Vardy on the bench list for quite some time. So because of that, I'm not going to do it because you've been a bit rude in the chat. Sorry, not sorry. And it's also a yellow card. It's my birthday this weekend, says Gallows No FX. Can I get a shout out? Yes. Happy birthday, Gallows. And congratulations on on another revolution around the sun. What a day. Ben Johnson or Anthony Robinson? Could be a time to take a punt on Ben Johnson, to be fair. I think I'd bench. Or would I? Yeah, okay. Try Ben Johnson. Why not? Corrupt referees. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Isak or Jackson long term. Isak again. Particularly now that Wilson is going to be injured for a couple of months. Isak should be nailed on for a good amount of time. Scott says, 4 free transfers, is it worth using 3 for Mitoma, Gvardiol and Fass out for Trent, Kirkes and Enzo? That would be a very expensive defence. But, like, Mitoma, there's nothing wrong with him. You don't need Kirkes if you've got Trent, Timber and Gabriel. You just don't need Kirkes. So, could you just do 2? Could you just do Mitoma and Gvardiol to Trent and Enzo? It's a little luxury. But if you've got 4 free transfers and you think that will improve your team, then go for it. I don't think you need to do the Fast to Kirkes move, though. Because you're never going to play Kirkes. If you have Timber, Gabriel and Trent, they're going to play every single week for you. Of course, providing he does start today. Which we don't know for sure. Why is Wood so high on the list? Yeah, I've dropped him down a little bit, but he would be higher than a lot of these other picks, I think. Aston Villa concede goals. Wood is a player who always finds a way to score goals. Francisco says, YouTube won't let me buy the lowest super chat. Is this a bug? I'll have a look at this, Francisco, because you're not the first person to say this. Can I get Strand Larson on the bench list? Yes, you may. Let's put him in here. Here? Is that a little high? Little high, little low. No, I like it. I like it. I beg you, just answer my question. Enzo or Vardy on the bench list? Well, weird edits since you did beg. Then, Kudus on the bench list, please. Certainly, I will be more than happy to oblige. He would go somewhere around here. Maybe, actually, no. I'm happy here. I'm happy here. Think. Clarence Smith row on the bench list? Not really. Not really, you can't. According to Emma on Twitter, Dina starts 80%. I just don't agree. Wait, but Dina played midweek? Unless I'm mistaken. Let me double check this. Let me check. Aston Villa. When? Oh, they played Tuesday, didn't they? Unless I've messed this up somehow. Dina played 83 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. Elijah says, love the jersey you're rocking. Me too. Me too. Duncan says Gabriel is on the team bus. Okay. I mean, to be fair, he was going to be on the team bus regardless. If he's having a late fitness test, he's going to be with the squad. Even if he's not in the squad, he will still travel with the squad. Like we see that quite often. Pretty much all the time. Players who are in the squad, even if they're not... Sorry, players who play for a team will be with the team. Even if they're not necessarily in the squad. Go Mr. Trent for free. Is it worth it? Yes, I think so. What's up, Dan? Please answer me. Transfer Burgess to Kirk's 2 million in the bank for long term. I don't mind it for free. But could you not just go all the way to like a Urian Timber? I think I would prefer that if you have that money in the bank. RB says Hall or Nori for this week and why? Hall, because he plays for the better defense and has a similar amount of attacking threat. But that really could go either way. But that is my answer. Kaz says, hi Dan, please choose one. Henderson to Allison. Semenyo to Enzo. Roll the transfer. I have 2 free transfers and wildcard not used. I'd roll the transfer, man. Roll it. Henderson is not amazing for this week, but I think he could be good in the near future. Sid Fisher says, -4 Isak, Ahmad for Cunha and Burmo, or buy Gordon for free. I'd buy Gordon for free. I don't think that's worth a -4. I'd do it for free if it was Enzo instead of Ahmad, I think. What transfers have you made? I have brought in Isak for Cunha and Enzo for Bruno. Lewis is likely to get Arsenal team news or no. We'll see, man. We'll see. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. But we'll keep we'll keep looking. We know he's with the squad. That's all I can tell you. I don't know if he's in the squad, but he's with the squad. Leo says, I've asked the same question 20 times. I need help. Please. Leo, if you need help, the first port of call I would say is to speak with friends and family, usually there to support you when available. So if you need help, friends and family would be my first suggestion. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that answered your question. Is Watkins playing? I don't know, man. I don't know. We very rarely get Aston Villa team news, which is the difficult situation. And even with that said, Aston Villa being the late kickoff today, it's tough. It's tough. Onana on the list. Yeah, we can do Onana. And put him right here. Right on the refrigerator. Thoughts on Brendan Johnson? I think he could cook this week. Trent as a punt captain? No way. No way. Haaland to Isak for a -4? No, I don't think so. Not for a -4. Will you play Verbruggen or Fabianski? I will play Verbruggen. Stupinian on the bench list. All right, fine. I'm going to throw him in here. I know not many people own him, but people keep asking. Any Newcastle team news? Will Gordon start? I would be very surprised if Gordon didn't start. Very surprised. Delap on the bench list. I think it's a bit too differential to add to the bench list. I don't want this to get the text to get too small, but he would go pretty high here, really. Somewhere around João Pedro, I would say. Maybe not. Around João Pedro, Welbeck would. What about Timber? Where would you put him? Like top of the list for defenders, pretty much. There are very few defenders I can think of that I would rather have than Timber for Game Week 16. Yeah, you must play him. You really must play him. Asking for the 15th time. Damsgaard on the bench list. Amir, you must be the only person in the world of FPL who has Damsgaard, so he can't go on the bench list, man. Weird Edit says, where would you put Vardy? Good questions. Pot Noodle says Tielemans. Tielemans also used to play for Leicester. Same as Vardy, didn't he? Tielemans on the bench list, though. Yeah, let's go Tielemans. Popular pick. Very popular. Lots of people own Tielemans. Tielemans is going to go right here in the yellow card. No one owns Tielemans. Bench him. Keep or sell hard. Oh, Cupid Scar says, who's to start, Vardy or Pedro? Great question. Maybe we should add Vardy to the bench list. Great question, Cupid Scar. Because we've got Pedro already, so let's put Vardy on here as well. He's playing against Newcastle. Where would we put him? Right, Cupid, this is for you. We're going to put Vardy. Lower than this, maybe here. Ta-da! Love it. Blizzard says, FYI, Everton have lost by big margins away from home versus Spurs and United. They don't have a very good record at the Emirates. Brentford have a good record against Chelsea too. Saka is the best captain in my opinion. And your opinion is totally valid. Yeah, I mean, Everton were terrible at the start of the season. And I think we've seen over the last 10 game weeks, they've really, really tightened up. And they're putting up some of the best defensive numbers in the Premier League. So it's very difficult for me to suggest that playing them is good. I won't disregard the fact that Everton are capable of a capitulation. It could happen, but I don't trust it. We also have the fact that Salah and Palmer, they are far more explosive players than Saka. So if you're looking for those mega hauls, they're your guys. Brentford have a good record against Chelsea. I don't pay too much attention to this kind of thing. Like, which Brentford side? Which Chelsea side? Chelsea have an entirely new starting 11 from a year ago. They have a completely different manager from 6 months ago. They have a completely different tactical setup than 6 months ago. This season, Brentford are worse defensively than I can remember them being as well. So I know a lot of people like records. I think you do need to use them with a bit of context. But if that's your thing, you like looking at Everton's record against big teams, you like looking at Chelsea's record against Brentford, that is absolutely a fine way of playing FPL. It is just not my way of playing FPL. But, yeah, no, you're totally valid. You're totally valid. It's just not for me. It's not for me, man. Sophie says, which three to start in defence? Trent, Aït-Nouri, Gabriel, Timber, Harwood, Bellis. Well, Sophie, it's not going to be Harwood, Bellis. I would just go Trent, Gabriel, Timber. And then you're in a fortunate situation because if Gabriel is unavailable, you have Aït-Nouri as your first bench defender to come on and deputise. So that's what I would do. And thank you for the super chat as well. Thank you everyone for the super chats today. Haji says, which one to bench? Gomez, Hall, Aït-Nouri or Gabriel? Ooh. That's kind of tough. Maybe Gomez? Also maybe Hall. Also maybe Aït-Nouri. Play Gabriel. Start him and see what happens. I would try and play Lewis Hall, I think. And then maybe Aït-Nouri for the upside. I mean, Gomez could score more points than Aït-Nouri, but Aït-Nouri could score a lot more points than Gomez. Aït-Nouri with a higher ceiling, I would probably play Hall, Aït-Nouri and Gabriel and bench Gomez. But you've got a nice deputy there. Peter Parker's back, ready to fight some crime with his super chats. What's up, Dan? Any good long-term defenders? In a couple of weeks' time, Munoz looks like the cheap guy, but generally speaking, I think we're looking at Gabriel and Trent forming the glue of your defense long-term. So Gabriel and Trent. Although I can understand why people wouldn't buy Gabriel this week. And Trent, to be fair, with the fixtures. Cheap defenders, not so much. We could maybe make an argument for Kirkes, but I think I prefer Munoz. From a couple of game weeks' time, I would prefer Munoz. Benchless Bowen. All right, fine. Here, maybe. Enzo or Wissa? I would play Wissa over Enzo. Enzo's great, but we've got to manage our expectations a little bit with him. We've got to be a little careful. Still no definitive leak on Gabriel, by the way. I am looking for team leaks, guys. I really am. It's a little rough, to be honest. I really hoped we'd get something, but still a few minutes left before deadline. But yeah, I know people are desperate for that Gabriel news, aren't they? As soon as I know, you'll know. And we'll put it on big text on the screen as well. Actually, we might not do that, but we'll make it very obvious. Johnson or Rogers? I would play Johnson. Gavardio or Powell? I would play Gavardio. Attacking threat. We need team leaks. We all need team leaks, my friend. In an ideal world, we'd all have 100% foresight on who's going to play, when and where. But unfortunately, it's not always possible. Christopher says, Dan, would you captain Salah game week 16 if you bought him in for a -4 in game week 15? It wouldn't make a difference in my thought process at all, how recently I bought the player. You look at your team, you captain your best player. If you don't have a good captain that week, you might think about making a transfer to bring in a good captain. But no, that wouldn't factor in at all for me. Mo says, got 3.7 million in the bank. Sell Greaves or Lewis for Trent. Thanks. I think I'd sell Lewis, provided that you have 3 other defenders that you're happy to play most weeks. Yeah. Sid Fisher says, only this game week, who's the best under 5.2 million goalkeeper, not Newcastle? The best goalkeeper this week under 5.2 would probably be... He's probably got the best chance. Liverpool, no. Arsenal, no. Can't say Newcastle, apparently. Verbruggen? No. What about Kepa? Kepa Arrizabalaga. There you go. There's an answer. Hopefully that's a pretty good answer. Yeah, let's say Kepa. Christopher Cox says, thanks, Dan, but would you captain Salah game week 16? Yes or no? It's not really a yes or no question, because I think, as the poll was suggesting, I'm going to end that poll. It is so tight between Salah and Palmer. There is no right or wrong answer. I am personally captaining Palmer, but don't let that sway you if you prefer Salah, because there really is nothing in it. It's so super close. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I have the Liverpool team. Okay, I have the Liverpool team for you guys. So it's Alisson starting, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson in defence, Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai in midfield, and then Salah, Gakpo, Luis Diaz up front. So there you go. There's the Liverpool team for you. No real surprises there, but I think if you are an Alisson owner or a Gomez owner, you might feel a little relief there. If you're a Darwin owner, then you're probably feeling in a bit of trouble. Certainly like Luis Diaz, if you still have him in your team for some reason, you maybe start him now. Then there you go. Very nice. Very good, very nice. Would you start Welbeck or Enzo? I would start Welbeck. I would start Enzo over Rodgers, though. Should I transfer Mbeumo for Johnson and upgrade Pinnock or Van Heck for Trent? If for free, then yes. Dina not starting. I have no idea. The Aston Villa game isn't until later on. It's the late kickoff. Does Gabriel play? I don't have a leak on Gabriel right now. And we're running out of time. We are running out of time. Start Rodgers or Evan Nielsen. Start Evan Nielsen. And we've got a lot of people waffling in the chat. So ignore chat. If chat is giving team news, ignore it. If I say it, it's true. It's a reliable leak. If chat's saying it, they're just trolling. So ignore it. We play Collins or Robinson if you had to pick one. I'd probably go for Robinson. Right. Can we put the bench list away? Are we happy with the bench list? Are we happy with it? It's going. If you want a bench list, take a screenshot or go. You can track back in the stream as well if you want to have a look at it. But we're not adding any more players now. The show team gang, you're in great luck. Bench Kirkes or Van Heck? Bench Van Heck. Borlak says over 1,400 watching and only 350 likes. Come on, guys, show some love. I couldn't agree more, Borlak. Show some love, guys. Leave a like. Drop a like on the stream. Rock and roll. Do I play Sanchez or Verbruggen? The clean sheet odds are actually favouring Chelsea slightly more than Verbruggen. So that suggests playing Sanchez. But I feel I would be more comfortable with Verbruggen. And that's saying something because I am very rarely comfortable with Verbruggen. So it is super tight, Kai. Really tight. Flip a coin at this point, mate, but you haven't got long. Well, with about 30 seconds till deadline, I don't know if we're going to be getting any Gabriel team news. I'm just going to start him and hope for the best. Let's just make sure my team is ready to go. I'm going to take a screenshot of my team as well so I can post it on social medias. Am I happy? I'm gonna play Hall instead of Aït-Nouri. I'm doing it. I'm gonna back Lewis Hall. Palmer captain locked in. The deadline has passed, guys. The full-time whistle. The deadline has passed. The teams are locked in. How are we feeling? Are we feeling confident? I'm so confident. I'm gonna turn my hat back to front. Like a bit of a dude. Because we are going to score some FPL points this week. Let's go, baby. Timu whistle. Blame Sim. He's the one who bought it for me. Palmer just got lucky last week. So true. But Salah gets lucky every week as well. So, like, let's be real. You need luck to get the hauls. The mega hauls, you need a lot of luck in FPL. You need a new whistle. Is it blowing? I did blow it quietly on purpose because I didn't want to deafen anyone. Good lord, the cringe. That's what we do. It's how we deal with stress. This is how we deal with the stress. The stress of FPL, which is crazy, by the way. 15 minutes till we'll get all of the 3 PM lineups. And it'll be all good. The whistle probably woke up your wife. I think she's awake, to be fair. Maybe you can add a timer before deadline. I thought about that. I don't know where I would put it. I might do a little redesign at some point. Maybe over summer I'll do a redesign of the stream. Make it look better. But I quite like it the way it is. I think it looks pretty good. But maybe like instead of where it says next deadline, like all the way over. Actually, if I just switch this view. So if I just change this to maybe to a timer, that could work. And then it counts down. Because that works for all time zones as well. It's like a little calendar. A tick down timer calendar notification. Nice. Why not? Why not? All right. I'll figure out how to do that because I actually have no idea how that would even work. If anyone knows how I can do that on OBS, I mean, maybe I'd have to make some kind of video file and just overlay it. I don't know. If anyone knows this kind of stuff, send me a DM on Twitter if you can help me out there. I would massively appreciate that. Thank you. Kia says, transferred in Kukureya in Gameweek 14. Was that a mistake? Fixtures look good. Could be okay. Could be okay. I don't think he'll keep a clean sheet this week. The product says your team looks strong. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. People are saying, Dan, you're an idiot for selling Cunha, but people are also saying, Dan, your team looks great. So, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Make a video file, then change Google Chrome camera input to OBS. How would that even work? Einar says timer online, then just make a small window overlapping your screen in the corner. That would work. But it might look a bit crap. Because it'll be easy to just go like online stopwatch or countdown. I'd have to set it each week. Oh my word, look. But like, can you imagine this? Can you imagine this ghastly thing in the top? Right, so if I set it to like 2 hours till deadline. Can you imagine this horrible thing just going down in the corner? I mean, it doesn't. If I cropped it, it wouldn't look that bad. It is also lagging a little bit for me, but nothing crazy. Maybe something like that could work. Christopher says, Daniel, team is epic. We have 9 of the same players. Great minds think alike. And fools never differ. Yeah, you're right, mate. I think we're going to cook, Chris. I think we're going to cook. I know I said, hey, I never said it would look good. Fairs, man, fairs. Fair play. Shane says, made 2 moves. Haaland and Semenyo for Palmer and Isak. Good. Yes, very good. Very good. Overall rank, I think I'm at like 350k now. It's not quite where I want to be, but I'm heading in the right direction. I'm doing better than I was this time last year, in fairness. But last year was a stinky season for me. Stinkiest season I've had since I started playing properly, really, last season. I think I finished 120k, 100 and something like that. Which is, I guess it's not bad in the grand scheme of things, but you hope an FPL content creator would do a bit better. But if that's my worst season, I guess it's not all bad. Valoy Taja says, just 4 same players, I'm worried. Yeah, that is, you must have a quite differential team. Man, I'm so not ready for the team leaks to start piling in. Chiesa and Jota both on the bench, apparently. Samuel says, Dan, I think it's time for you to move up to the big leagues next season and do fantasy EFL. By that, do you mean move to the small leagues? Here for FPL says talks of Cunha on the bench. Nah, don't even say that to me. Don't. Oh my god. Honestly, please don't. No, it's not going to happen. That sounds like pure Japanese. That is nonsense. But if it's true, if it's true, no. Calm down, Daniel. Calm down, Daniel. But imagine. We'll find out in 8 minutes. Question. Since there is an FPL cartel, who is the cartel leader? There is no such thing as the FPL cartel. And I have not been paid to say that. And there is not a sniper on me right now forcing me to say this. Oh, it was Boona. Alright. So this is why I have him muted. How are people still falling for this? He's been doing it for 4 years. 5 years, maybe. Just mute him, block him, and move on. I can't believe people... Honestly, I don't want to say people deserve to fall for it, because some people are new to the FPL community, and... I don't know, man. It's a bit boring at this point, if I'm totally honest, but, I mean... Whatever gets your kicks. Talk about new chips. I already did a massive rant on that one. People were telling me that I'm overreacting, as always. But we do that. Hello, Dan Cross. Hello, mate. I guess you've just been chilling there quietly. It was fake. Okay, well, I'm glad we've established that. But can you imagine if it was true? It doesn't matter. Cunha is going to play the whole game and he's still going to blank. By the way, everyone's saying, oh, Ipswich, great opportunity, great fixture for Cunha to bag a hat-trick. But Ipswich have conceded 7 goals in their last 6. That's one of the best records in the Premier League in the next 6. And I am cherry-picking there a lot. But facts do be facts. 7 goals conceded in 6 games for Ipswich. And that's against teams better than them. And I don't know if Wolves are a better team than them. Graham says, what time Greenwich Mean Time do the price rises take effect? 1:30. GMT or 2:30 BST. When you're tucked up in bed, Graham, when all of the children of the world are sleeping, Father Price Rise comes out to play. He comes down your chimney and he rises the prices of all of the good little players who have been good. And for the naughty players, they get a price drop every night. Oh, you're in the desert in Abu Dhabi. Oh, okay. Well, for you, it's going to be a little different. But still. What's your team value? I'm not sure. I think it's like around 104 million, maybe. I did make transfers, though, so it might have... I know I lost 0.3 team value after my transfers. Okay, so I'm at 103.9. I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. He does what down the chimney? You know very well what Father Price Rise does down the chimney. I'm not going to say it again. Chances of guessing Arsenal team news in the next 4 minutes. Give us 5 minutes and I can give you a 100% chance. Like a full 100%. Christian has 104.9 million team value. That's crazy. Can I explain team value? Yeah, I can try. When players are transferred in a lot, they go up in price. When they're sold a lot, they go down in price. That's the basics of it. You can increase your team value by owning a lot of players before they become popular, essentially. So the earlier you jump on a good bandwagon, the more price rises you'll catch. Although, to be fair, you can catch price rises from bad bandwagons again. Look at Ait-Nouri. He's got like 3 price rises and has scored like 6 points in 5 game weeks or whatever it is. So if a player is very popular and is being transferred in, they will rise in price. And if they're being sold, they drop in price. And it's pretty much as simple as that. In terms of selling players, you can't profit that much when you sell players. You're capped at a maximum of 50% profit when selling players. So if a player, you buy them at 4.5 and they're now 4.7 million in value, then you profit 0.1. You can sell them for 4.6. If they go up to 4.8 million and you bought them at 4.5, again, you're capped at 50%, so you will be again selling at 4.6. That is your selling value. Hopefully that is a good explanation. Hopefully. Gabriel starts, by the way. I just dropped that in casually, but yeah, Gabriel's starting. There you have it. I kind of wanted him to be benched, I'm not going to lie. I kind of wanted him to be benched because I'm now fearful of Ait-Nouri scoring points on my bench. But is there a way to see the price I bought a player for? Yes. If you go on list view on your transfers page. So you can't do it right now. But when the game updates in like half an hour or whatever, you can have a look then. A lot of people relieved that Gabriel was starting. Very relieved. Assistant manager chip makes team value more important. That's kind of true, I guess. I benched Ait-Nouri for Colwill. Think I made a big mistake. I wouldn't say a big mistake. But yeah, I probably would have played Ait-Nouri, but not much in it. Is Gabriel confirmed starting? Yes. Yes. Well, I say yes. Like, the source is good. The source is good. So I'm pretty confident. But we'll find out for sure in 1 minute's time. So then you'll get your 100%. But even, you know, saying that, you don't even get 100% when Arsenal announce their team. Because, like, players get injured in warm-up. Things can change at the last minute. Nothing's ever 100%, but there we go. Right, let's get ready to rumble. Our Fantasy Premier League going to just retweet all of the team news beautifully for us? I really hope so. Because then I don't have to go on each page individually. And that will save me time and effort. Give me team news. Wow, Dan, all in Chelsea attack. Yeah, man, I'm hoping for some goals. I need Chelsea to score 4. The real fun will start tomorrow, though. No, Isak's playing today. There's going to be a lot of Isak fun. Do you play darts, Dan? Yes, badly. No. The real answer is no. I occasionally play if my friends are playing and I'm in the same room. I would never choose to play darts, though, because I'm not very good. Blame the dyspraxia. All right, come on then. Come on then, chat. Where's this team news I've heard so much about? Oh, am I going to have to go manually, aren't I? Right, let's do a manual job. They call me Daniel Manual, after all. So, Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis, Skelly. 1 second. Just want to check something. Lewis, Skelly. Just going to go quickly. Skelly. And there he is. I've just sniped Lewis Skelly for my sleeper fantasy team because I'm a bit of a legend like that. Oh, I love sleeper fantasy so much. Oh, I'm in our draft league for sleeper fantasy. I'm playing against Let's Talk FPL this week in our head-to-head in the draft league, and I know he picked up Tierney this week because he thought he was going to play. So to see Lewis Skelly is playing is advantageous to me because it means that Andy doesn't have Tierney, and I also now have Lewis Skelly, which is wonderful news. Simply wonderful news. And that means I don't have to play James Tarkowski anymore. Wait. Lewis Skelly is listed as a midfielder. Well, I've made a terrible error. Well, that serves me right for... Oh, I don't want to play him anyway. Hang on. I just need to sort this out, and then I'll carry on. Right, let's get back to team news, guys. So, anyway, Rice, Marino, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Havertz there as the attack for Arsenal. Let's go through some of these other teams. So, for Everton, Pickford, Young, Tarkowski, Branswaite, Mikolenko, Harrison, Mangala, Garner, and Dye, Decore, Calvert-Lewin. Keane back on the bench. For Liverpool, Alisson, Gomez. We spoke about Liverpool earlier, but Alisson, Gomez, Van Dijk, Diaz, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jones, Gakpo, Robertson, Gravenberch, Alexander-Arnold with Kwanzaa and Chiesa on the bench. Interesting. Oh, Chiesa and Jota could be back soon. Any more team news for us? Yes. Fulham. Bert Leno, Kenny Tete, Diop and Koenko as the centre-backs. Robinson, Berger, Lukic, Wilson, Pereira, Iwobi, Jimenez. So no Smith Rowe. Interesting. That's a pretty defensive lineup, to be fair. Berger, Lukic and Pereira. They're trying to compensate for the lack of centre-backs with additional defensive mids, I suppose. For Newcastle United, Dubravka starts in goal. Boo. Fabian Schär, Joelinton, Tonali, Gordon, Isaac, Hall, Livramento, Murphy, Byrne, Bruno Guimaraes. So we've got Isaac and Hall at least, which is nice. Very, very nice. And for Leicester, Hermanson, Justin, Cody, Vestergaard, Christensen, Chowdhury, Skip, El Khanous, Mavadidi, McAteer, Vardy. Yeah. Thoughts on that midfield? That's not... Yeah. Chowdhury, Skip, El Khanous midfield is something. It sure is something. Well, that will be McAteer, won't it, really? Okay, El Khanous and Mavadidi on the wings. Well, I think Newcastle might win today. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Right. As for Wolves, Cunha is obviously starting. Johnson, Doherty, Semedo, Bueno, Totti, Aït-Nouri, Andre, Lamina starts. Bellegarde, Cunha, Strand, Larson. Okay. Interesting. So it'll be Bellegarde and Cunha behind Strand, Larson. Hwang is on the bench again. Dawson. Why isn't Dawson playing? Aït-Nouri looks like he's playing left wing back, which is positive for him. Not that I want it to be positive. Abs for Ipswich. Muric, Clark, O'Shea, Burgess. So no Greaves. And then Davis there. Morsey, Kajust, Burns, Chaplin, Hutchinson, and Delap. And is that everyone? Is that everyone for the 3 o'clocks? I think that's your lot. There we go. Well, on that note, I suppose we will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me for this very long 2.5 hour pretty much stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Do drop a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't done already, and enjoy the football. Good luck out there. Hopefully it's not too swingy between Salah and Palmer, but I guess you never know with FPL. But yeah, let's have some fun with it, guys. Enjoy, and I will catch you tomorrow, I suppose. Do another stream tomorrow, reaction stream tomorrow. Hopefully catch a few of you guys then. Cool. Thanks so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.